Hi, I'm Satina. I'm the Indigo Mystic, and I just thought I would talk a little bit more about what I have learned about why we're fat. If you're fat, if you're not fat, that's different. I'm not talking to you. Well, actually, I probably am talking to you because this is happening to all of us, and so I'll just get on with it. We're not fat because we eat fat. That's the lie. That's the lie that keeps us enslaved, and that's the lie that keeps us fat. We're fat because we're poisoned. And this is how it works. First of all, our fat cells store away poisons that enter our bodies so that they will not be allowed to attack and destroy our organs and kill us. So thank you, fat cells. Thank you for doing that work for us. So the more toxins that you expose yourself to, the more fat cells are going to have to seal away those toxins inside your body. And of course, maybe you're already thinking that since that's the case, that when you lose weight, doesn't that toxin get released back into the body? Yeah, it does, which is why if you lose weight too fast, you can feel really, really, really awful. In fact, I mean, it can be dangerous to lose weight too fast because those toxins could be released into your body and then, yeah, start working on your organs, start killing you. So that's one of many reasons why it's important to go slowly and to really listen to your body. It's another reason why it's really important to drink all the water. It's because all of the water helps your body flush those toxins out so that they aren't circulating in your body doing lots of damage. So that's the first way fat is related to poisons. And of course, the poisons in our environment are present in our foods, which we will talk about more. But they're also the air is poisoned. There's poison in the air. There's poison in the water. There's poison in our cleaning products. There's poison in our personal care products. There is poison in our clothing, polyester, very toxic. There's poison in our carpets. Petroleum products go into the making of our carpets, our bedding, so we lie on it all night and absorb the poison. Yeah, there's a lot of poison in this world. And it makes you think that maybe somebody is actually trying to poison us. And if you're thinking that that's true, then you're right. Somebody is. Um, I'm here to tell you some really hard truths about this world. And, if you're not ready to hear them or whatever, hit the stop button and go hang out with some more 100% happy all the time kind of light workers. There are those light workers. They're very fabulous and wonderful people, and I've mostly hung out with those light workers throughout most of my journey, and have mostly not really fit in there. I think I'm going to look into the witchcraft community again. Um, I was a witch in high school, and I went on to explore other things. I never turned my back on it. I never gave it up. I just expanded upon it. And so after the witchcraft, um, I went into energy medicine. I became a Reiki master. I discovered the ascension materials and metaphysics, and we're getting completely off topic here. So back to fat and poison. So yeah, there are non-physicals, the archons. Archon is an old Greek term which means lords or rulers. And they're the hidden puppet masters behind the scenes. And they're non-physical entities who feed off of negative human emotion. They eat it, they slurp it up, they eat pain, they eat suffering, they eat sadness, they eat grief, They eat greed, they eat desperation, they eat power hungry, uh, all of that is all based on fear. It's all based on fear of loss. You don't get greedy until you're afraid of losing something. Um, and people who want power, lots of, just power for power's sake, is because they're afraid. They want to feel safe. So anyway, these non-physical entities eat those emotions. So they need people to produce those emotions. And so they are very highly psychologically advanced. They are like, you know, picture somebody with a PhD in psychology and a room full of 5-year-olds. Picture the amount of emotional, psychological manipulation an evil person with a PhD in psychology could do to a room full of 5-year-olds. Because 5-year-olds just don't know any better. 5-year-olds trust. And 5-year-olds haven't learned how to figure things out for themselves. And 5-year-olds don't know the workings of their own minds. And so if you tell them, oh, eat this, it'll make you feel better. 5-year-olds will eat it. I mean, if it looks like chocolate, especially. Um, and they won't question you, and they won't go and look it up for themselves to see, oh, should I be eating this? They'll just eat it. So if you picture that, if you picture those PhD level psychologists and human beings as being the 5-year-olds, then you'll see what these entities are doing to us. And one of the ways that they do it to us is through direct mind control. They put negative thoughts in your head, which cause negative emotions, which they can then slurp right up off you. But they also control the elite, the banking elite, the Illuminati, the governments of the world. And they manipulate those governments into manipulating us into creating lifestyles that lead to pain and suffering so that they can slurp it up. So yeah, we're being poisoned, and we're being poisoned on purpose. We're meant to be kept fat and sick and depressed and unmotivated and ignorant. We're meant to remain 5 years old forever. We are meant to remain spiritual children. We are not spiritual children. We are gods with amnesia. You are a god, and you don't remember it. And we will go more into the reincarnational mind wipe procedures in another video. It's going to be a good one, huh? Okay, we're going to go back to fat and toxins, because the first way that fat is related to toxins is all these poisons that they're giving us, our body is trying to save us from. Our beautiful and wonderful bodies want us to be healthy and to live. So the fat cells grab up these toxins and seal them away in our cells with these nice little fat cushy holders that keep the poison from getting out to our organs to destroy them. And so that's one way in which fat and toxins go together. The other way is the food allergy response cycle. And this is something that, even though I took classes in holistic nutrition, herbology, things like that, aromatherapy, I don't know, maybe I just never really understood it until this year when it really became apparent. What happens is that our bodies, do you watch House? I watch House, MD. It's awesome. It's one of the only television shows I can stand. I hate television for the most part, but House is brilliant. It has its flaws, certainly, but one thing he says that our bodies are miraculous and beautiful, and they're also stupid. And I'm sorry, body, but this whole allergy response thing really needs some tweaking. Because what happens is we eat a food. Let's say that food has something in it that's toxic to us. Well, our bodies, in an effort to make us feel better about that or protect us from the possible exposure, first of all, they grab the toxins, seal them up in the fat, put them in our cells, Yay, everybody's happy, right? That's not all they do. They give us an endorphin reaction to say, hey, everything's okay. We got that poison out of your system. So, yeah, it was scary because that shit could kill you, but it's good now. It's in your fat cells and it can't get to your liver, it can't get to your heart. You're gonna be all right. A little burst of endorphins. So maybe we're the stupid ones because what do? We go, that food give me a buzz. I want some more of that food. Um, let's pretend the food is dairy because for me the food is dairy. I have a slight doubt. Dairy. I have a slight dairy allergy, and so I think most of us do actually. We're not supposed to be eating dairy, but anyway, no, I'm not a vegan. Not quite, not yet. Probably will be down the line, but I do have to really avoid dairy and eggs, though. I know that just the responses that my body has been giving me have told me that those things aren't good for me. So anyway, let's say it's dairy, and uh, you have some dairy, and you feel, the bloated, the cramping, the mucus, but you also kind of feel good. You kind of feel a little bit high. And so you're like, I like cheese. Cheese is my friend. So you go for more cheese. And that puts more poison into your body, stored away in more fat cells, gives you another endorphin reaction, which sets your body up to crave the very thing that's killing you. And if we're talking about sugar, sugar is designed to get you addicted to it. It has a spike crash response that is pretty much like heroin. And getting off of it is pretty much just as hard. I don't know, maybe harder. I mean, I've never gotten off heroin. I've never been on heroin. I've never tried heroin. But I've been battling sugar all of my life, and I know that it's had me by the metaphorical balls for a very long time, and I was not able to break it. No way. I would become homicidal, suicidal. It's the same addiction process as alcohol. It's the same sugars, just in a little different form. A person who is sensitive to sugars and becomes addicted to sugar has the same chemical predisposition as the person who becomes addicted to alcohol. And the addiction is just as strong, and kicking it is just as hard. So if you've ever tried to kick alcohol, and I've never been an alcoholic because even though I'm sure I have a sugar sensitive body, so I know that I could probably become an alcoholic. It makes me too sick, so I never had that luxury. I've drank a few times, and we could talk about those times another video, because I actually used alcohol as a poison very intentionally once. Anyway, it makes me very, very sick, so I could never get addicted to it. I mean, it makes me, sick enough that the endorphin rush is nowhere near worth the sickness for the most part, especially now. My body's gotten more and more sensitive since I opened up my psychic abilities over the last 13 years. Each one of my initiations into opening my psychic abilities and running more energy through my body has made me more and more sensitive to the point where more and more toxins have to go, and alcohol had to go. So I've never been an alcoholic, and I've never had to get off of alcohol. But I've seen people, and I mean, we've all seen people, and we've all seen it on television, what it looks like when someone's trying to get off alcohol, and they want to drink. It's bad, and that's how it feels when you want sugar. It's bad. It's not a joke. People think that being addicted to sugar, oh, it's just sugar. I'm addicted to. I'm a chocoholic. That shit's not a joke. It'll kill you. And it's going to kill you. You are going to die from some sort of sugar-related illness if you're addicted to sugar, unless you step out in front of a bus, and then that's probably got something to do with, you know, maybe suicidal tendencies. Maybe it's got something to do with the fact that your mental processes aren't what they used to be, and so you didn't realize you were stepping out in front of a bus. But anyway, So sugar addiction isn't a joke. It's deadly. It's deadly serious, and it's on purpose. So if you're fat, it's not because you're eating fat. It's not because you're eating cholesterol. It's not even because you're eating meat or dairy necessarily. It's because you're eating poisons. And your body is responding to those poisons by sealing them up and not letting them be flushed out in the bloodstream, because that would be too much exposure to your organs and could kill you. And your body is also causing you to crave the very thing that's killing you. That's why McDonald's, oh my god, I talked about McDonald's in the Fuck Sugar video, and the fact that they were exposed for buying disgusting, diseased, decaying meat that was not fit to be made into pet food, and then they were bathing it in a shitload of chemicals in order to kill the microorganisms and arrest the decay process, to the point where our government said, yeah, those contamination levels are just fine for human consumption. You can sell it as food now. And so then they would grind it up and sell it to us as food. I am still working on, releasing my anger about that. But anyway, all those poisons in those burgers not only toxified our bodies, but it made us addicted to fast food. So if you eat fast food, you're addicted. If you eat a lot of food from fast food establishments, it's because you're addicted to those chemicals. And I've been there. I was addicted, absolutely. Back in, January, when I got that driver's license picture, the equinox, March 20th, when I had my non-consensual detox from the universe, I was addicted to fast food. I was eating it about 3 times a week. I had switched to the grilled chicken and whole grains, but it was still Franken McDonald's, Franken food, which is Franken fucking poisonous, toxic, decaying slop. Anyway, the addiction cycle is what gets us. And so that's what we have to break, and that's the part that we need to understand. At least for me, that was the key for me, or was a big key, one of the big keys. There's been a lot of keys in this process of changing my entire orientation toward food, and I've been working on this for years. I was going to become a naturopathic physician. I took classes. In fact, I had to drop out because I couldn't handle reading about the toxicity of our environment anymore. It was devastatingly depressing to learn just how poisonous our water supply is, how poisonous our food supply is, how poisonous our ground is, how poisonous our air is. I couldn't do it anymore, and so I dropped out of the program and focused on metaphysics and energy medicine. And I guess I decided to indulge in my denial for a little while longer and just work on what I could. I mean, that's all any of us can do. And the only reason I've been strong enough to do this now is because over the past 5 years, I've done a huge amount of psychological work and energetic work and spiritual work. And so this year I was strong enough to now bring all of my focus into the physical, because I have studied metaphysics and spirituality and magic for, full-time, intensely, for 13 years since my awakening. Talk about that in another video. You're just gonna have all these videos. It's gonna be great. I don't even know if anybody's gonna be interested, but I don't know. Spirit's telling me to make them, so I hope they serve. So yeah. Anyway, let's wrap this up so it's not a big long video. Just know that if you are fat, if you are carrying extra fat, that it's not about the fat you're eating. It's not about the amount of food you're eating. It's about the amount of poisons that you're eating. Before my detox in March, on March 20th, the Spirit spoke to me. I got sick about 3 days before the detox, my liver, really bad. And I prayed, and oh God, they were like, please, please eat as much food as you want. Just make sure it's real, clean food. No more poison, please. I heard my body crying this, and I heard my guardian angels crying this. And, um, I mean, that was a few days before the big detox, and I, I listened after that, and it's been, yeah. There's only whole foods after that, pretty much, and then, yeah, now no sugar. So, that's it. If you want to fight fat, if you want to take your body back, if you want to take your mind back, because I'm bipolar, and I was born with predisposition to bipolar, and I know that because my father was bipolar, and my maternal grandfather was also undiagnosed bipolar. So, I have a predisposition toward bipolar disorder, and sugar addiction mimics bipolar disorder. So, what do you think happens if you put sugar addiction on top of a predisposition toward already being bipolar? You get some extremely severe bipolar symptoms. I struggle with some of the worst bipolar symptoms that you can have. And so sugar has controlled my mind and my body, and is pretty much, I mean, yeah, I'll leave it at that. So sugar has controlled my mind and my body in the past, and it will not ever control it again. So if you want to take your body back, and if you want to take your mind back, then quit sucking down their poison and letting them suck down your resulting misery. That's all I want to say. I just wanted to share what I had learned about fat and poison and how it's completely changed my life and how I am getting free and getting clean. And if you want to join me, that'd just be awesome. Look up Spark People. It might be sparkpeople.net or sparkpeople.com. If you Google Spark People, you will be led to the website. It's free, completely and totally free. There's no obligation. I've been there. This is my third time having a membership there, and no problems ever. It is an amazing site. It really is. And look me up. My name there is Indigo Mystic, so you can read my blog on my fitness journey. It's way more boring than these videos, but hey, you can see what I'm eating. Get some ideas or, whatever. So yeah, look me up there, Indigo Mystic. And I just really hope everybody gets clean. I just really want to see the amazing inborn potential of every single human being given absolutely every opportunity to shine. Our world needs it. Our world needs for all of us to become warriors and to bring it. We came here to bring it. So let's bring it. Peace out. Namaste.